Good morning, afternoon, or evening, dear beings here at our Echo Yoga. Thank you for joining today, and we have a little bit more cloudy weather today. So if you've seen this window before, you've seen some lovely days of sunshine, but today it's a bit more cloudy. And so for today's theme, it will be a full body practice, but what feels authentic right now for my own body is just slowness. So the invitation is to get cozy. I have my own little cup of tea, so if you need a cup of tea, grab it. And I encourage you as well in this practice to have couch cushions around, or if you have a bolster or blocks, you can have these with you. I'm not going to be using props today, but if you need them to feel more comfortable and more support in certain postures, then take the time to pause the video and grab these things as well. And that being said, let's go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Shut the eyes down. And begin to soften the body, arriving fully into the present moment. Can leave behind anything that came before this moment, so any troubles or challenges, and also any moments of excitement. And staying in the present moment, really anchor in the breath. So let the breath move in and out of the nostrils. Let the belly inflate as you inhale. Let the breath travel up across the chest, through the diaphragm. And as you exhale, internally visualize and release any contraction, tension, any scenes or stories that you might be holding. Let every cycle of breath land you deeper and deeper into the present moment. And with a little bit more breath awareness here at the beginning of our practice, I'm going to invite in 10 breaths in a moment where we will breathe like a sipping through a straw with the mouth on the inhale and just exhaling out the nostrils. And at the end of the 10, I'll have us hold at the top of the inhale. Don't worry, I'll lead us in a moment. But again, soften the body, soften the muscles in the forehead, around the jaw. And on your next inhale, slowly sip about 75% of the way up through the mouth. Exhale through the nostrils. When you're ready to inhale, sip. Hold for a moment at the top. Exhale through the nostrils. And continue. So inhale, sip through the mouth, hold at the top for a few seconds. When you're ready, release on the exhale. I'll let you move at your own pace. Don't worry about the amount. I'll let you know when we're coming to our last round. And soften the body with each round as you hold at the top of the inhalation. Relax the shoulders, maybe even separating the lips here. We sometimes purse the mouth and tense the jaw. And continue. Enjoy the subtleness of this practice, the silence. Let go of needing guidance. A few more rounds here, and again, softening with each round, especially on that exhale. Release any tension or contraction in the body or the mind. We're going to begin our next round when you're complete. So no rush if you're somewhere else in the breath cycle. Finish. And on the next inhalation, you're going to hold at the top for a bit longer. So stay there with me. Let's take an inhale. Take a little bit more in. A little bit more. Fill up completely. Hold. Soften. Release when you need. Taking a moment here before we begin the physical postures to just bring intention into your practice. What does your body need today? What does your heart need? What does your mind need? My invitation for you is that whatever you came in holding, that you put it down, let it go. Whatever you may be holding for the future past this moment, that you release it. It will come. And let's take the hands together at heart center, beginning our practice with one collective Om. Take an inhale to begin. And floating in the vibration, the frequency. Let's move slowly with grace. Open the eyes. Take an inhale, reach up. And exhale, bring hands to the back of the head. Clasp the fingers, open the chest here. Snuggle the hands into the palms. And not a deep back bend, just a kind, soft back bend to begin. Any moments the eyes want to shut, feel free. And also in the moments you get lost in the mind, I encourage you to open the eyes, bring that peace externally, focus on a drishti or focal point out. A few more rounds of breath here, really opening the chest. Let's take an inhale. And exhale, round in, elbows in. Chin to chest. Let's take an inhale, open up. And an exhale, round in. Let this be slow so we're not snapping the spine. Inhale smoothly. Take the entire inhale to open. And take the entire exhale to round in. And a few more rounds in and out of the nostrils with the breath. Last round, inhale. And exhale, hands down to the knees. Let's go ahead and bring the hands to the front of the knees. Inhale, pull the chest forward, look up. And exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, forward, open. And exhale, round. Inhale, forward. And exhale, round. Let's come back to center. And we're going to take the soles of the feet together. Take the knees out to the sides and bring the heels a little bit forward so you're creating a diamond shape. So we'll bring the heels closer to the groin later, but first let's go nice and wide. Take an inhale, sit up nice and tall. And exhale, slowly come forward. Keep the spine straight if possible. If you begin to round, come out of the posture a bit. You can use the elbows to press the knees open. Soft breath here. And just notice if you're someone that tends to shut the eyes, maybe practice with the eyes open, find that focal point, the drishti. Notice if you can find a very soft gaze with the eyes open. Sometimes it's very easy for us to go internally and feel peaceful here, but the moment we engage with the external world, we get a bit scattered. So building that focus, that soft focus. One more breath in. Sigh it out here. Just peel the chest up. Bring the heels in closer. Take a hold of the big toes. I apologize for my throat today. I feel in connection to British weather. It's up and down. So let's go ahead and bounce the knees. So knees bouncing, opening the hips a bit, creating a bit of energy. So I invite you to open your eyes more. I close mine sometimes because it feels weird staring at a camera. So it's nicer to be looking inward. And move a little bit faster here, a little bit more dynamically, but release any tension in the shoulders if you have any. Take a big inhale and exhale, sigh out. Stop the movement and begin to slowly fold. Find a fold forward. Maybe the hands come onto the earth. If that feels better for you, you might need to stand the palms or come to the forearms. And so just notice any fluctuations in the heart, the breath. And find that focal point inward and outward. And let's peel the chest up. Cross the ankles. And we're going to take an inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, twist to the right. So simple twist, right hand down behind you, left hand on the right knee. Let the twist come from the belly. So be kind to the cervical spine. Inhale, reach up through center. And exhale, twist to the left. Nice and long through the spine, twist from the belly. And peel the chest up and forward. So bring the feet out in front of you, returning to center. And you can let the hands come back behind you. And we're going to just let the knees drop over to the right and then to the left. So we're just windshield wipering. You can turn the chest from side to side as well. And nice and slow. Getting into the front line. Open the heart as you do this as well. As you drop the knees over to the right, turn back behind you. Bring the left hand behind you. Come onto both fingertips, twisting deep into the belly here. You can stay on the fingertips or come down to the palms. Nice and long through the spine. Keep the chest lifted, gaze lifted, back behind you. And let's come back through center, move over towards the left. Knees drop over, twist back behind you onto the fingertips or the palms. Let's come back through center. Cross the ankles, come over onto the hands and knees, and we're going to sit back onto the heels. More tea time for me. So we're going to come into one of my favorite postures, which is frog pose. So I'm going to be showing you from the front, so you won't be able to see everything whenever I'm actually into the posture, so I'll show you from the side now. We want to take the knees as wide as possible. If you're on a yoga mat, fold up the sides so that your ankle is also on the yoga mat. So we're going to create a 90-degree bend, knees in line with the ankles and knees in line with the hips. So create a 90-degree bend. And actually, I'll just do it from this angle so you can see. We're going to come down to the forearms. If you have a couch cushion or a bolster, you can use this. But let the knees open up as wide as the hips will allow, but not past your edge. And make sure that if you're coming forward, you'll notice if the knees aren't in line with the hips, that you bring the hips back in line with the knees and turn the toes out so there's a dorsiflexion of the toes towards the shins. For some of you, you might need multiple couch cushions. For some of you, you might bring your chest down to the ground. I'm feeling quite closed today for my own body. Usually I can bring my hips down, but don't force. The goal is not for you to turn into roadkill. It's for you to feel some lengthening in the groin, the abductors and adductors. And if ever there's intense, sharp pain, you can always bring the heels in towards the glutes a bit and sit back deeper into kind of a wide child's pose, into tadpole. So we stay here for some time. And I'm actually noticing deep tension in my hips today. This is usually a posture that is really open for me. Today, my hips are fighting a bit. And so it's good to tune into how you're feeling emotionally and energetically. We hold a lot of emotions in the hips. I know I've got a bit of fear in my body and nervousness, so I can feel this metaphorically playing out, my hips closing a bit. And notice where you're holding any tension or contraction. If you're bracing the earth or bracing your couch cushions, it's important. If you need to lean out of it a little bit, lean out, or surrender and lean even more deeply in. So now my hips have opened a bit more. You may have noticed my chest surrendering to the floor a bit more, but there is a tremble. So notice if the body's shaking or trembling. Is there areas that you can release a bit more control? So our yoga practice is a beautiful opportunity in the physical postures to notice how much control you want in each posture. If you're holding the breath, or you're pursing the lips, or you're contracting the muscle. Protection is important. It's important to notice as well when it's time to let go and to trust. So we'll take another minute here in silence without guidance. And just observe. If the mind begins to wander, stay with the breath, breathing in and out, and feeling, sensing, attuning to what is in this moment. So in a moment when we leave this posture, and just had a reflection of something that someone told me once, anytime we're leaving a situation, maybe a relationship or a job or whatever it may be, that we don't leave when we leave, meaning that we move gently. So slowly begin to lift the chest, come up onto the forearms, and we want to bring the heels in towards the glutes first. Slowly sit the hips back a little bit, and inch by inch bring the knees in. So we want to move nice and slow. So don't leave when you leave. Sit back onto the heels and find a child's pose. So we transition gently into our next posture. Hands stretching forward, relaxing the forehead down to the earth. Step by step, and peel the chest up. We're going to tuck the toes, bring the knees in closer together, and sit back into a toe squat. Sit up nice and tall, long through the spine, releasing stagnation in the lower trunk of the body through the ankles, allowing the hips to meet again, the thighs to come together. And staying in the present moment. Let's come forward onto the hands, pat the feet out. And let's sit back onto the heels. Shut the eyes down. Our last posture. And just coming to attention and then presence. So many times we can get very confused on the difference in the quality between attention and presence. So our attention looks the same as our presence. We're here. But presence is this quality that comes with emptiness. We just are here to receive what is. Attention can sometimes be connected to hypervigilance. We are aware of every single thing, every thought, every sound, every texture with the mind. But in presence, we allow the body to just feel, turning off the mind from thinking, and we just feel ourselves into being. And take a minute of silence here. Hands together at heart center, bowing head to heart. Tuning back in with your intention. It may have shifted. And when we slow down and we become more present over attentive, we follow our natural intuition. We become more heart-led. So the invitation as you move from your practice into the day or the night is that you just slow down, take some breaths, and remind yourself where you are in this moment, in the present moment now. Namaste.